So, you want to create a thumbnail? Well, look down at your hand. You got a thumb, and on it is a nail. Congratulations, you're done. Hey guys, welcome back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we are back once again. And today we're doing something a little different. I kind of wanted to, because I love thumbnails, I wanted to kind of go and break down and maybe start up a series we could potentially be doing on the channel where I just create some thumbnails and talk you through it. Because I love creating thumbnails, and there's not a lot of content on YouTube about creating thumbnails, which is awkward because it's on YouTube where creating thumbnails is a big deal and you got to put some time into it. So I want to start off today. The first one that I kind of want to do is a thumbnail about that. It's like a vlog style thumbnail. So I have this image here, and I really like it because not only is it relevant to right now, it has a nice solid color background, so I don't have to spend a million years cutting it out just for this, breakdown. Now, keeping in mind a couple of things when I do a thumbnail. The first thing I'm thinking of is what do I want the thumbnail to convey? What's the video about? So I'm gonna say that this video is a vlog style video about how to stay safe during Corona. And I found this picture of this girl wearing a mask. I didn't know what I was going to do until I found this picture on pixels.com. But we're going to go ahead and scale this down. So I'm going to scale that to about right there. Now, you want to keep in mind, the thumbnail is going to appear to most people about at this size. Unless they're on mobile, which it'll then appear probably about maybe this size. Depending on how close they have the phone to their face. But it's going to appear most of the time at approximately this size everywhere on YouTube, up and down the side of a video, maybe even this small on the side of a video. So you want to keep in mind, everything's going to have to be kind of big. Everything's going to have to be visible, so you can't like make her like this and be like, how to stay safe during Corona. What is that? Is that an ant? I can't see what that is. It looks kind of like some kind of Teletubby. I'm not sure. So make sure everything's big enough the audience can see it. I'm actually going to make her a little bit bigger. So we're going to do like this, cut off most of the body. And what we're going to do is I'm going to move her over there so you can clearly see she's wearing a mask no matter how far away this is. I might even go as far as to make the mask black, but it would probably blend in with her black hair, so we're not going to do that. But there's a blue background, which I absolutely love this color, so I'm going to eyedrop this and save that for later. I might even eyedrop a darker color version of it as well. Something like that. Yeah, I like that. I like those colors. It's nice. So instead of me having to go around and cut this out, especially because she's, girl, she has long hair, it's going to take quite a bit of time to kind of cut this out. Instead of doing that for today's tutorial, there's a super easy way to do this, especially because this is actually working really well because this has a solid color background. I'm going to take the fuzzy select tool, and I'm just going to have a radius of like 2 and just click and drag until it selects practically all of it. And it does a pretty good job. Now, I can get away with doing this because I'm putting blue behind it again. But if we weren't, as you can see, there's quite a bit of blue still left over in her hair and this and that, and it's a pain. Cutting out people with long hair, typically, like I said, typically girls, because girls typically have long hair, is usually a pain. So when you see me do things on the channel, I usually pick people that aren't girls, like I did that video with Dwayne Johnson, because he's bald. So keep that in mind. You're also going to want to kind of keep that in mind. That's gonna take some time to cut out if you were obviously not putting blue behind this, but I want to do blue because I like this color. Okay, so next thing I want to keep in mind is I want this background to, for once in my life, not be flat. I want to do like some kind of color scheme thing here. So I'm grabbing a different layer, and I just put a different layer of a very subtle, very subtle gradient down there. Just of this really big dark blue color that we have here, which looks really nice. Very subtle. And now I don't want to do it the opposite way around. So to me, just honestly, this feels awkward because it feels like the top is dark, and the top is usually like a sky or brightness, and it feels kind of closed off. And I know that this sounds really silly, but it does actually play tricks on people, especially me. So it looks really dark and closed off because the gradient's at the top, so the top's darker. It just looks awkward, so I just put it down there like that instead. And what we're gonna actually know what I want to do instead of doing this, I'm gonna do my trick. So I'm gonna use white and black here, and we have to speed this up a little bit as well. I'm gonna go ahead and do like this. So I call this the dark light trick. I call this the yin yang trick. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and put some white and some black in some pattern like that, and then turn the mode to overlay, and then just drop the opacity down A lot of digital artists do this, graphical artists do this, and it just looks really good. I'm going to blur that as well, so it's not as, you know, harsh and visible. All right, so this looks really good. I like this quite a bit so far. Now what I want to do is I want to do something kind of stylistic with her before we kind of move on here. So I'm going to duplicate her. I'm going to create a new layer group, and I'm going to move both of those in there, into the group. If I could get it in there. Oh my God, there we go. All right, now I want to hide the blue for a second, and I'm going to duplicate her a couple of times. So I'm going to put the second one about right there, and the third one about right there. I'm going to do another one. I'm just holding down shift to move her around, by the way, in a straight line. Make sure she's still in the group. She's not trying to ditch us. And the last one I'm going to do is right there. All right, so what is this? 5 versions of her? Yeah, okay. So every other one I'm going to put on erase. I'm going to put every other one of these onto erase. Erase. There we go. So these 2 are going to be on erase and the other ones are not. So the ones that I didn't put on erase, I'm going to actually go to colorize and I'm going to make them a color. So we're going to make them both white to start off with. And then I'm going to recolorize these again and I'm going to change them to color. So you have to keep in mind that this is going to be on the blue, so it has to not clash. Like, it can't be like, what's a terrible colored? Like, it can't look like, oh, all these are working right now. Holy. It can't look like this, where it's kind of clashing. Okay, I can't find a color that's actually literally clashing with it right now. But there are many colors. I think it's at the saturation that I'm at. The saturation I'm at is very good for this. But something like that. There you go. That's kind of clashing. It's difficult to look at, and it just looks kind of weird. So I'm going to try and stay away from doing something like that. I think I'm going to go with a nice green for that one, and I'm going to go with a nice yellow for the other one. So let's go ahead and do that. Darken it a little bit so it actually shows up, you know. And there we go. So like nice little sprite color. So it's nice and bright and poppy. Then you got to keep in mind this is a vlog channel. She probably makes a lot of videos like this. I'm literally giving her personality. She doesn't, I mean, she exists, but okay, you get the point. So we need words because people are visual. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make this say something, but I'm not sure what I want it to say. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do how to stay safe, because obviously what people need to know. So I'm going to break this. I break this in lines. I do this for my thumbnails. I do this for every thumbnail I make. We're going to do this in lines. So I'm going to put this on like 250, 225 or something like that, right? And I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to just get it all down first, move it out of the group. Get this all down first. How to stay safe. I'm going to change this to a different font. So a really good way to kind of change things up and make things interesting is to use different fonts on the thumbnail, which I actually don't do very often. But the type of content that I make, I don't really think that that's necessary. But for something like this, I would definitely do this. So how to stay safe during, I'm going to do a different line. So we're going to have 4 different lines here. And then we're going to duplicate this again, move it down. As you can see, I'm doing this little trick where I delete everything but the first character. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I delete the first character and then type, you can see everything goes back to the original size that it is instead of staying at 225. So you always, that's a little trick for you. Delete everything but the first letter and then type. And I'm going to change that to that font right there. So we have 3 different fonts here. You don't want to go too crazy. Like every line shouldn't be different. That's kind of crazy. But we have 4 different fonts here. This looks really good. Obviously the black, it looks terrible. So we're changing all of these to white. Just want to get it all down first. I think I'm gonna do stay safe in that same yellow color that we have over here. So consistency is also something that's very eye-catching to most people. So when they see something similar, they kind of get like, oh wait, that's the same thing that's over there. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna change this green color because it is actually not a good color, and I don't know why I made it that color. It's too dark and it's not very good looking. Not gonna lie about it, guys. I'm sorry. We'll do that. That's much better. And then I drop that one and we'll use that one instead. All right, there we go. That's much better. All right, cool. And then COVID, the word COVID is gonna be definitely in red because that's dangerous. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. So we're going to go ahead and do something like, see, the light is contrasting with the other one. So I think I'm going to have to do something kind of special for this one. And yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and, let's first of all, now I have to make sure this all says what I want to say because I'm about to do some stuff to the text that makes it so we can't edit it again. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to rotate all of these so it makes them a little bit more lifelike. So they're not just, I'm going to rotate them all different directions. So they're not just like straight text fonts, you know. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to merge them all down like this. I'm going to merge them. I'm going to rotate the whole thing, and then I'm going to scale it up so it's a little bit bigger, right? And I'm also going to put it behind her so that the E, the little bit of the E and a little bit of the D is kind of behind her as well, which is nice. And I think after this, I'm at a little bit of padding because it's a little too close to the left there. And what I really don't like is I don't like how the word COVID is kind of clashing with the background. So what we're going to do to kind of fix this is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to select the word COVID here. I'm going to select this by holding down shift and just clicking and dragging down. I'm going to go to grow, and I'm going to grow this by like 5 pixels, create a new layer, put it underneath it, and then just fill it in with white like that. And instead of having it be like hard edge like that, I'm going to kind of move it down and blur it a little bit. So it's kind of like this, right? And then go to the mode and put it on overlay. You know what? I think I might do this for the whole word here. Do I want to do that though? Let's see. If I go ahead and if I duplicate this entire thing and then blur it, let me do something like that, right? And then go to colorize white and then put it on overlay and do something like that. That looks good. I like that. It looks really good. It looks really good. I like that. I enjoy that. All right, I'm also going to turn the opacity up for this over here. And just to kind of make things look a little bit cooler, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate her and then just hide one version just so I can keep it intact for later on. And I'm going to right click this and then merge layer group together so all of this is the same layer now. And I'm going to go ahead and erase some pieces of her through here to make it look a little more cool. I think I'm going to actually put the text above her. And I'm also going to put the text and the white background in a group, and I'm actually going to scale it down a little bit because it's a little too big. There we go. I'm trying to make it look like it feels like it's even because she's kind of like off the side of the thumbnail. All right, and then I'm gonna move it out of the group. So that was just to move it, so I can move them together because I can't move 2 layers together at the same time unless I put them in the group. And that is not even, and it's gonna bother me, so I'm gonna put it back in a group, and then I'm gonna move it up, and then I'm gonna take it back out of the group, and then we can continue. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and keep erasing some pieces of her like this, kind of make it look kind of neat like that. I might have done a little bit too much and might duplicate her, drop the opacity. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Now I'm not really digging the font here, so let's actually go ahead and invert the white and make it black and make it darker over here like that. Yeah. Oh, so much better. Holy. All right, and then I'm gonna duplicate those shadows, scale them up maybe a little bit. But see, now the issue, the word COVID is getting lost again, so we're gonna go ahead and select just the word COVID here, and I'm going to do some stuff with this. I'm gonna brighten it first of all. I'm gonna darken the darks, make it a little bit more saturated like that. And now this is the thumbnail, so I'm not if you've seen previous videos, I'm gonna put a little bit of pink in there. If you've seen previous videos of mine, I'm always like, don't use harsh colors because it's not attractive to look at, which is true. This is a thumbnail. Those rules do not apply unless it's so brutally like difficult to look at, then it's an issue. But you're gonna want to be probably as vibrant as possible, unless it's a channel like mine that's tutorial driven where I'm being artistic on purpose. But if you're just doing thumbnails, especially if you're doing gaming thumbnails, throw every artisticness out of the window, okay? There's very particular times where I make gaming thumbnails look artistic, and it's because the style of video that it is different. Now COVID is still clashing, so what I'm going to do at this point is, because it's still clashing, I'm actually going to go ahead and change the color from red, because red just does not work well with blue at all, especially these specific shades. So what I'm gonna do is I just have the two colors, the two on top of each other, 2 layers, and I just hue shifted one of them so that now it looks like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually going to do something kind of cool like this, which I think looks pretty neat. I'm looking at COVID down here. I want COVID to stay blue like this. So I'm going to highlight that, select invert, and then we can go ahead and start erasing the pieces of the during and stay safe that I want to be gone. And then we can also hue shift these individually, just so I have a little bit of gradient on those so they don't look too solid. I really like the way that looks. Yeah, cool. And then I'll hit select invert, and then I will delete the red COVID underneath the blue. So now it's blue. It has to stay safe during COVID. You can clearly see that from far away. I always scroll it down so I can see after I'm done. I want to do some more stuff to the text here though, so let's actually really quickly do a little highlight effect that I do. So we're gonna select all of these like this, nope, like this, and then select shrink by 5, invert like that, new layer, and then put some white over top of that, put it on overlay, and then we're gonna go ahead and put all this in a group so it only affects the text right there. And I'm gonna duplicate that white again, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, blur it by just a little bit. Yeah, and then I'm gonna darken the colors that we have here so you can see it a little bit easier. Yes, I enjoy. Now, do I want to really quickly add a little bit more yin yang to this? I think I might. So we got a little bit of that black in there on the sides here, and then maybe a little bit of the white in the middle, like that, and then put that on overlay. Maybe accentuating that just a little bit. Yeah. All right. I think that looks really good. I enjoy that. I think I might just want it to be a little bit stronger. So let's actually go ahead and select these individually because I can't get them right. So let's just stop wasting time and do it properly. I'm going to go ahead and... Nope. New layer. We'll go ahead and make a very soft gradient like that. And then come in with a little harder one. There we go. And then we're going to put this on... probably have to duplicate this quite a bit. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. And then we'll do the same thing with during, but on the top though. Can't really see too much of that on the during. Is it actually working on the during? I think that it is. All right. I like the way that looks. That looks pretty good. I think it might be a little too dark on the side, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. There we go. So I really like the way this looks. How to stay safe during COVID. You can clearly see what that says. I think I'm gonna get rid of the harder edged highlights. We're gonna keep the blurred ones. Yeah. 100%. I like that quite a bit. All right. Last thing I might do, I might duplicate all of the words, move them down, and then darken them. So brightness, contrast, and then just fully darken it and move it beneath the words that we have, of course. And then maybe some word. No, that's the wrong thing. And darken it like that. How to stay safe during COVID. Don't I want to just do solid black? Oh, wait a minute. Let's move it out of the group. The group is affecting it in a weird way. All right, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what it's supposed to look like. All right, more dark, more contrast. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, I really enjoy this quite a bit. There's an ambulance. Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video, I believe. I think that looks really good. I really enjoy that quite a bit. I think that looks pretty cool. We might be able to get rid of the shadows that we have on there now. I liked it better without the secondaries. The secondary text. Let's actually make that solid black, so colorize. And then we'll make the thing we just created solid black. And then I'll just drop the opacity down. Just for a nice little added effect. Very subtle. All right. That is that. Like I said, something else you want to keep in mind. I didn't say this earlier. You're going to want to keep in mind this little box right about in this area is going to be the timestamp. It is very small on mobile now. So you don't really have to worry about it as much as you used to back in the day. The thing used to be huge, the timestamp. But you just want to keep it in mind. If you're on PC, this is definitely going to be a little bit bigger. If you're on mobile, it's literally like this big. So don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it for mobile, but definitely worry about not putting something here if the person's on PC, which there's still a lot of people that use YouTube on PC, of course. So you're going to want to make sure that that is visible. Anything in this area does not matter too much, which I mean her hair and her wrist don't really matter that much. So we're going to just leave that the way that it is. So I hope you ladies and gentlemen enjoyed today's tutorial, kind of uncut, kind of start to finish design process thing. I really enjoy making thumbnails, and I am quite excited to make some more of these. I like this quite a bit. But yeah, that is a vlog style, how to stay safe during Corona kind of style vlog thumbnail. Of course, there's other things you can do. You add borders and whatnot, but I think I like it the way that it is right here. So, I will see you in the next one, but until then, bye-bye.